Game time! Woo!
YouTube, we're back from Cleveland. It's your boys, Detroit Love, P-Dubs Arcade Loft, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Nostalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes Friday Night Just Got Live.
I don't know if you noticed this, guys, but Detroit Love is rocking the silk pajamas tonight, man. Getting nice and comfy as we prepare for another live stream. How you guys doing today? Welcome to another show. We're back, baby. We even had fake nostalgia there in Cleveland. What'd you think about that, Steven? Was that pretty funny?
I enjoyed that. It was good that I wasn't there physically, but you guys somehow made me be there in spirit.
He was a poor substitute, nostalgia. There's nobody like you but you.
That's true. There's absolutely nobody like me but me.
Yeah, in fact, the live chat feels that you are the imposter. Where is the real nostalgia that everyone met in Cleveland? Let us know.
Wow. That's a bold statement for sure.
It is.
You know, I was gonna reach out to mate.
When we were in Cleveland, I finally found Waldo as well. So that
very good. You know, I tried my best to not come to Cleveland because, like, let's be honest, you guys are all old. And if I came, I highly doubt that you guys could keep up with me.
Nostalgia, let's be serious here. You haven't came in a while.
I'm just saying, I think if I had come, you guys would have been way out of your league. It's just way out of your league.
In actuality, the old man was the one that had everybody running.
You know, that's
Detroit
fair.
Love
Carl,
is a beast.
I was going to say that's fair. Carl, you could probably keep up with me, but I don't know about the other guys.
Yeah. Speaking of Waldo, did I ever tell you guys my funny CM Punk Where's Waldo story? Does that ring any bells?
Once.
Yeah, so when I was living in Chicago, one thing that I would always go to every year was C2E2, so the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo at, what is that? McCormick Place downtown, that giant, probably one of the biggest convention halls in the country. And they would take up multiple floors, massive convention. But they would always have, gaming, pop culture people there, but they would always have professional wrestlers too. So Jerry the King Lawler, Ted DiBiase, all those guys who usually hit the conventions. They had CM Punk come and he did a panel in one of the panel rooms. And my wife went as Carmen Sandiego and I went cosplaying as Waldo, which was great because so many people wanted to take pictures of me, you know what I mean? Because they're like, it's Waldo. And my wife dressed as Carmen Sandiego. We got so many photos taken of us. But anyway, I'm in the panel hall and I'm sitting kind of in the middle center of this big theater. And we're just listening to CM Punk, right? CM Punk's being interviewed by some other guy. And there were a couple other wrestlers there. And CM Punk's talking. And while he's talking, he's looking out at the crowd. And then all of a sudden he stops in the interview and he points out in the crowd and CM Punk yells, "Waldo! I found Waldo! He's right there!" And he was talking to me, right? And I got a little bit of a round of applause in the meeting room, and it was really fun. It was really fun. So CM Punk has spoken to me from 50 feet away, Michael B. So I think we're pretty tight.
Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you, Michael B. Thank you. I thought that was fun.
Passive aggressive response I've heard.
I thought that was a fun story. I mean,
that is a fun story.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. I talked to Heath Slater in the mall one time. Probably not as cool, but
yeah.
I've actually never met a professional wrestler before in my life.
Oh, you have.
Who?
Well,
I think we both know.
Yeah,
Michael
but
B.
he
the
didn't
Game
count. And that was like just a one night type of thing. It wasn't anything special.
Charlie Chuck was Abdullah the Butcher.
Oh, God. That's right. We're practically besties, Skynet. Thanks so much. Kevin Clausen, $3. What is Dubtober? Dubtober is October. So that's on my channel where we're going to be doing a whole bunch of Halloween-themed content and bringing back some of your favorite characters that I've thrown up on YouTube in the last few years. So make sure you check that out. All right, guys, we're going to dive into some topics. We also have to say hi to the live chat. So if you're here in the live chat, do me a favor, say hello. You know me. I like to only make this about 2 minutes long. That's what she said. Let's see here. Who's here in the live chat, guys? We got T-Slayer, Meatball Saucy, Bo Nose Tecmo, Skynet, MG, Jason, Shit for Brains, Biggie D's Arcade, Cogs R Us. Cogs R Us, aren't you supposed to be playing some in a tournament right now? What are you doing here, bro? Danny Z is here. Zero Cool, Skynet, Dick Watson, Paul Minderman, Stander Upper, Calvin Wong, Dick Watson, Conti Dinda is here as well. Jim the Pacers fan, El Capitan is here. Word on the street is he's got a thing for El General. We have to make sure El General doesn't know the Capitan is here. Pliskin's Run is also here. 720 Eric, Skynet, come on, keep them coming, keep them coming. Let's see if we got any late commenters. Chris Langs, good to see you, my friend. Jason, a little alien, the world's greatest moderator is here. Quentin, Sith Lord, Chris Ford, Michael B. the Game Genie made the show. Congratulations, Michael B. And Restalgia's here as well, but we don't know if it's the real Restalgia or fake Restalgia. We'll have to find out tonight.
Yep.
All right, so there's a few things we want to talk about going on in the world of consoles as well as in the world of home arcades. So let's kind of dive into it. I think our first subject tonight is going to be console chatter. Any Evercade fans out there? If you're an Evercade fan, do me a favor. Let me know in the live chat. What about you guys on the panel? How many people are Evercade fans? That's great. Why do you like the Evercade?
Because they sent me one.
Michael B., you're never going to get people to stop trolling or attacking you when you keep making comments like that.
I don't give a shit.
He's not joking. He's telling the truth.
They sent it to me, and I was like, man, this is badass.
Now, what do you like better, the Evercade VS or the EXP?
EXP is my favorite.
You like the portability of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and it's got the Capcom games.
That's true. And those are like that it just like makes the console so much better.
Emulation's perfect on them as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. They got a good team. They know what they're doing.
Oh, Return 2 of them broke. Oh my goodness, sir. That's crazy. We have some Evercade fans in the live chat. We also have some people point out Mike's clicky keyboard.
I've got one of those in a box, and I was like, I want to set it up, but then I'm like, when I'm on the show and I respond to any comment, I'm just going to sound like Mike. It's going to be tick, 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 tick. So I think it'll just drive Pete Ups mad.
We got a $2 super chat from Kevin. He wants to go $2 for honesty. Give the people what they want. Well, we don't have any special videos anymore. I had to make room for something else. But I'll tell you what. If you're a good guy, later in the show, Kevin, I'll play a video that's about 2 minutes long for you, and it'll be worth your $2 investment. So don't go anywhere, my friend. But yeah, I wanted to talk real quick about the Evercade because I noticed this week a couple new cartridges went up for sale. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not. Obviously, the Duke Nukem cartridges have been up for sale for a while, so I know a lot of us are excited about the Duke Nukem carts. But they got a couple of indie ones here, and I don't even know these games. I didn't know if anyone here on the panel or in the live chat has played these games, maybe on Steam or something, and can let us know what you think. But they're really pushing the indie titles, which I do like about the Evercade. It's nice to have those from time to time. Good Boy Galaxy, Witch and Whiz. So this one is coming out. Nostalgia, any experience with these?
No, I've never played these specific indie titles.
Oh, you never have?
Nope, not these ones. Never.
All right.
I've never played these ones. I think I've seen some video footage, but
right.
I've never played them.
All right. Well, let's all tune into this video together. Let's see what our impressions are, because I'm not going to lie to the audience and say I've played these games. I have no idea what these are. Okay, so Mike, doesn't that remind you of an old Game Boy game? Didn't you see that?
It certainly does have like the first one looks more like a computer game. The second one looks more like an NES game. This looks interesting. Demons of Astaborg looks like it could be fun. I don't know what Astrobots is, but I will tell you some of my favorite experiences so far on the Evercade, believe it or not, has been the indie titles. Like whenever I've got those indie games, you find really special ones that they put out, and it's just badass, right? So yeah, some of like I don't think the first cart, the Witch and Whiz, and what is it, the other Galaxy one, I don't think that's for me. But the second one looks like that might be a Metroidvania style game, and I could definitely be down with that.
Yeah, take a look at that Witch and Whiz. It looks like kind of like like an NES or Game Boy Color.
It reminds me of something like Kickle Cubicle, some kind of puzzle platformer. Yeah.
Interesting. Anyone in the live chat play this? You guys got to let me know in the live chat. I didn't see a lot of feedback in there. Retro Bat says he's played Demons. He says it's a blast. He has it for the Genesis. There you go. Anyone else do us a favor, let us know. So there you go. If you're into some indie games, I got some new indie carts available. And yes, I was just about to bring this up. Where did it go? So I brought up the handheld. How many of you guys pre-ordered the little mini Evercade handhelds? I pre-ordered the Taito one. What about you, Nostalgia?
I haven't pre-ordered them, not yet. I've been thinking about it. I'm very tempted. I also don't think that they had pre-orders open to Canada when they initially pushed it out, so I don't think it's something I can get just yet anyways. I don't recall, though. Okay. Mike, do you remember if that was available to us, or it was just US? And
I don't remember. I was looking at it and I was like, oh, they're pretty cute and stuff like that, but
yeah. Well, I know, Carl, you like playing on your Nintendo Switch. Do you have an Evercade? I can't remember if you do.
I don't have an Evercade.
Yeah.
I just don't know much about it at all. Now, the new one you're talking about, is that won't take the cartridges?
No, it will. It will.
No.
It's like a little mini one. I could pull one up.
Yeah, it's almost like a Game Boy form factor. So it's like a vertical with a little screen, and it works the same way. It's going to have built-in titles, but then it also has the ability to take cartridges in the back too. So
when it takes the cartridge, does it stick out, or is it?
No, it kind of like fits into a groove, and it'll make the whole device smooth.
Okay, interesting.
Like well shaped. There isn't anything that sticks out anywhere.
I've always been a fan of cartridge. I don't really like not having a cartridge or disc.
Yeah,
something about that still is weird to me. But
yeah, so they're selling a Capcom one as well as a Taito one. These are available on Amazon for $59, $60. And yeah, it's a mini handheld that looks kind of like a Game Boy, and it plays all the Evercade carts you already own. So it's kind of interesting. Plus, it has it'll have built-in games. Is it built-in games or a cartridge?
I think it has built-in titles.
Right, the built-in. So
I think they're
it'll
built-in. I'll check.
Yeah.
So that comes with the 17 built-in.
Yeah, preloaded games, 17 Taito arcade titles built into it.
Yeah, I see Best Buy has it as well. They have the Capcom one for $59.99.
Yep, should be $60 roughly everywhere. If you see for more than that, you're getting screwed.
It's $80 here in Canada. It is here though. We can get it.
Oh, it is here.
It is here on Amazon. Yeah.
Nice.
Now, so it looks like, I don't know if you've got an image of it, P-Dubs, that you can pull up.
No, I already closed it. Sorry, you can pull it up though.
Okay, give me 1 second here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can get it.
Yeah, as always, if we ever see Amazon deals, we have no problem shilling Amazon links. And
Especially Nostalgia. He's a professional
Yeah.
Amazon salesperson.
I am.
Yep.
I am. So this is what I was trying to explain to you, Carl. So you can see right here,
Mm-hmm.
the games are built in, but it looks like they provide you with like this dummy cartridge. And then if you wanted to put in one of the other Evercade cartridges, this would slide out and the other one would come in. So it's still, it's always uniform, but yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It's smart of Evercade too, because they can sell these super pockets and then they can still go to retailers and be like, yeah, we've increased our user base by X amount because now people can play our cartridges on these hyper mega techs too. So
It'll be interesting to see how those rear trigger buttons feel, because I'm worried that it's not going to feel super intuitive with the way that they're sitting, but also none of the games, like there's no Taito game that's going to use more than just the 4 buttons on the front. And if any of them even use more than 2 of the buttons, I'd be surprised.
I'm really surprised to hear you say that. Usually you like the rear trigger.
I set that one up, didn't I? That's fine, but no, that's the only thing that's like I'm humming and hawing about. I'm curious about it.
I think he set you up there, Nostalgia. I really
I got
think
it.
he did. I really think
we're moving on from that.
Real quick, we're going to dive into another console thing that's actually pretty exciting because this is hot news. But before we do, real quick, Carl, what was your favorite part about Cleveland and meeting me and Michael B in person?
I
just
tell you,
just the trip in general.
Michael B is a live wire. You know, he was just a barrel of laughs just from nonstop. Now I did discover that I found something that happens way more than the AtGames update game, and that is Michael B smoking a cigarette. I think that he must have smoked like 80 packs or so. It seems. But it was definitely fun meeting you guys for the first time. I didn't go to Chicago last year, but we had a ball. We had a ball in Cleveland. We were nonstop from the time we landed or I drove. We had something on the spreadsheet, right? Something on the spreadsheet that was moving. I think we got everything on the spreadsheet. You guys got to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on Monday. We kept pushing it off and off because it wasn't arcade game related, but it was a fun trip. I'm glad I did it, and I wish the real Nostalgia was there. But did
you ever see our video on Console Kids' channel where I said something very sweet about you? Did you ever even see that, Nostalgia?
I didn't. I saw a bunch of the clips that you guys had posted. I don't think I saw anything about any sweet comments. I did see that you guys had fake Nostalgia on a few streams, and you guys mentioned that, but I didn't see anything about like a sweet clip about me. I'd love to hear about it, though. Tell me.
You're gonna have to watch. So Console Kits, on the last day there, we did a live stream where we sat down and we talked about what are the highs and the lows of the trip as we were getting ready to leave. And for me, the low, I said, was that you weren't there, and that we wanted you there. And it was like a 5-minute speech about you, and it's nice to know that you feel the same way about me. So moving on.
Yeah, well, it was because we were like at the real world, right? Is that the house or
what's the Nostalgia?
Yeah. What's the game where everybody's in the same house?
Love Island.
Big Brother.
Love Island.
Right.
There's
so it's like Big Brother, and so Console Kids wanted to do like a confessional. You know how they do the confessional videos and that. So that's what it was. So you have to find it on his site.
I will have to watch.
So honestly, we included Nostalgia. I sent him a very nice message from my friends at New Wave Toys. Don't you remember that, Nostalgia?
Yeah, oh yeah, that was that was not expected. I would expect that much from you guys.
Yeah.
Not from New Wave Toys?
Did you send him a 1/6 scale penis enlarger? Is that
No. I got Eduardo from New Wave Toys, and we just recorded a very quick and nice greeting for Nostalgia.
Nice is not a very objective word for this.
Oh, I love this from Bobby. A 5-minute speech about nostalgia is 60.39% too short. Nostalgia
Agreed.
would agree with you.
I would.
Real quick, Mike, what happened to your AtGames Legends Ultimate? It's no longer behind you.
Oh, geez. My AtGames Legends Ultimate has been downstairs in my main game room now for about like a month and a half. I just brought the ALP down today. So this is going to be where I keep all my Arcade 1-Up XL cabs together. And my ALP and my LU are down with my 2 real pinball tables and like all my modern gaming stuff down in my actual game room.
We got $2 here from JJ. Your thoughts on Antstream Arcade, 1,300 plus games. I like it. I think it's a good thing, and they have some pretty decent titles on there. It's not a whole bunch of shovelware. They actually have some decent IPs on there, like Mortal Kombat and others. Bandai Namco. They got Taito games. They got some decent licenses on there. So I think it's fun. Plus they do all the leaderboard challenges, and you can challenge your friends and stuff. In full transparency, I haven't been on it in a few weeks, but that's because I'm working on several projects. I've gotten a lot of people who've sent me like those Antstream challenges, and they're all piling up. I need to hop in there one day with a controller and just go to town and get caught up. But I personally, I like it. I just haven't been able to use it a lot the last 3 weeks, month. I haven't been able to use it. What about you, Nostalgia?
I don't use Antstream, but I do like the service. They've done I think actually what's interesting about it is when you look at the huge roster of games, it's like 1,300 titles, but they don't, like 90% of them are shovelware. Like 90% of them are games that you don't really care about. Maybe you'll play them just because they're part of the service, but 10% of them are like really, really good. And I think that's all you need. Like 10% of your total library are super high quality AAA games, and the rest can be junk. And I think that that's good enough.
Sure.
Considering the type of service that you have. So
good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's talk about something a little more interesting. And I know, Carl, this might actually excite you, my friend, as well as the audience, but this is hot news. MetaQuest 3 pre-orders are live. Carl, I know you like VR. Is this going to happen?
You know, I really do like VR, but I have not touched it in such a long time.
We got some VR news outside of this. I got to mention to Carl after this. So
okay,
and so, they got new porn, Carl. Carl just bought 3.
Yeah. Who ordered the MetaQuest 3?
I hope this works better with lighting. You know, where because my issue, I don't have a whole lot of open space because we got stuff everywhere. So that was always my challenge, and you can't really play outside because the light's just too bright.
Good stuff. But you like playing it. Like, what was your favorite VR games that you were playing all the time? Wasn't there what's the one that you guys kept trying to get me to play, but I never played it?
Which one are we talking about? Pistol Whip?
Pistol Whip, yeah.
Yeah, Pistol Whip. I never got a chance to play it. I should play it.
You should. It's pretty
Super Hot is also
Super
a
hot. Yes.
really good one too.
So I'm not going to be getting this until Nostalgia finds a way to hack it like he hacked the MetaQuest 2, so me and Carl could get all kinds of free games.
Michael,
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. That didn't happen.
Well, and if it did happen, it was for educational purposes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was just showing people what they shouldn't do.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so in the box, you're going to get a charging cable, power adapter, 2 Touch Plus controllers, the new controllers with wrist straps and 2 AA batteries, and you're going to get a MetaQuest 3 headset with pre-installed standard facial interface. Holy crap. All that. Nostalgia, tell us about the value.
The value is top-notch. Actually, I don't know about the value on this. I think that this is the one that comes with like the pancake lenses. So that should improve just like the overall experience inside.
Yeah.
But I think I really got to see it because there's a pretty reasonable price jump between this and the Quest 2. I think it's like nearly 50% more expensive for the same hard drive size.
Are you sure that's the percentage, Nostalgia?
Could be 60.39%.
Thank you.
Yeah. The it's definitely worthwhile to pick it up if you don't already own a VR system. I just don't know if it's like really that worthwhile to trade up from a Quest 2 to a Quest 3. Just because everything that's going to be released for the most part is going to be available on both hardwares for the time being. So
you're saying the technology really hasn't, the software hasn't really caught up with the technology yet.
That's right. And I mean,
I got a question, which is kind of a hot button with our gaming community. Are the games I own on my Quest 2, if I get a Quest 3, can I play those games on my Quest 3, or do I got to buy them all over again?
Yeah, you got to buy them all over. No, I'm just joking. If you own it in the whatever it's called, the Quest store, the Meta store, whatever it is, you should be able to download it right to your new hardware.
So you're saying the games are universal?
I am saying the games, well, for now, yeah. They're cross-compatible.
I'll just let that sink in. All right, guys, here's your options. 128 gigabytes for $500. 512 gigabytes for $650. That's right, an extra $150 if you want to go to 512 gigabytes. Holy crap. I didn't know memory cost that much money. Jeez. Good Lord.
It doesn't usually, but they know that if somebody wants the additional storage, they'll pay for it. So the hardware, it looks good. The controllers are definitely upgraded. There's a lot of improvements made with the controllers. You've got more sensors in the headset. So you're going to get better pass-through. You're going to get better recognition. You're not going to have those weird dead spots where your controller just like disappears.
Right.
So you should get a better experience. It's definitely thinner. The CPU and the architecture that they're running, actually the architecture is the same, but the CPU itself and the SoC is stronger. So you're going to be able to get more powerful titles down the road once the developers actually can harness that technology. Well, okay, so console fanboys talking about like the AR and the VR. In my opinion, the AR is irrelevant right now. Nobody's going to use AR. It's a technology that makes sense for very specific niche markets. It's not for the general consumer. So it is, but it's not. No one's really going to use it. So I'm looking at this strictly from a VR gaming perspective. Yeah.
I just want you to know, Nostalgia, you are a great friend.
You're so good with these, man. They're just rolling off your tongue. That's good.
Anyone in the live chat going to be attending the Chicago Pinball Expo? I will be there.
Before we shift off of VR.
Okay,
Carl,
here it comes.
This is for you, buddy.
Okay.
There was a title that I said you had to download, you had to play as a sports fan. Do you remember what that game was?
Was it the football game that
NFL Pro?
you played?
NFL Pro Era.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a great game. I made a bunch of shorts on it. I thought it was fun. I played that game so much. It was probably one of my favorite games to play for the last probably year on the MetaQuest 2. And they just added in, or they just released NFL Pro Era 2. It just launched literally yesterday.
Oh, no way.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. This is what's so cool about this game.
All right.
Is that it is not only... It's very similar in terms of like the graphics, the gameplay. There's a few extra additions, but one of the biggest changes is now there is like head-to-head multiplayer. So in the first game, you didn't get to play against another person online. You couldn't play against your friends. Now in this new version, you can actually play against any of your friends. You can connect wirelessly, and you guys each act as your own quarterback playing against the other person, which is a pretty badass feature, if you ask me.
Nice.
I don't know. He says it was delayed, Nostalgia. Are you sure?
Was it delayed? It was supposed to come out yesterday. I just announced it.
Is this the N64?
So, Nostalgia, I need to know how accurate this is. So, if I play with the New York Jets, how many snaps will Aaron Rodgers take before he's out for the season?
I don't know.
One series.
Three?
Correct answer is 4 snaps. Four snaps.
4 snaps, and then he's going down. His ankles are going to snap. Man, Detroit Love looks comfortable in those silk pajamas. It's so great.
I've hugged that man in those pajamas, and let me tell you, Carl smells fantastic in person. Like,
Well,
he is a man. Like, he uses like oils. What'd you say?
I said you hugging me in the red pajamas, not the blue ones.
Oh, that's true. I didn't get to take the full ride.
Yeah. Detroit Love was so much fun. The flipping over the couches, the
That was
running.
nuts. I thought he was dead. I was like, he did.
And
We're gonna bury him in the backyard.
He was all over the convention floor. Like he was like here, and then like you blink, and he was 90 feet away from you. Like he was moving so quick, man. D Love was awesome. And then also, dude, you surprised me because you had the red silk pajamas, but then you busted out these baby blue ones? Look at that, man.
Why would you think they're baby blue? They're clearly navy. Like, do you have like color blindness?
They're navy?
My God, they're dark blue navy.
Maybe I need to adjust my monitor color.
I'm wearing a baby blue shirt.
Hold on. You know how on your gaming monitors you get to adjust the temperature of the monitor? Maybe I have it set to the wrong setting.
On his monitor, you have a white shirt on.
Yeah, Mike.
I must.
God. So mean. Like, is it me or is like Michael B just mean? Like,
I'm so mean to everybody.
He's on fire.
He's been mean.
He was actually very nice to fake nostalgia.
Yeah,
he was.
That
He
doesn't
didn't say-
surprise me.
You didn't say him. You didn't say a mean word to fake nostalgia. Okay, let's
Mike,
talk
we'll have
about...
to settle this in November.
That's right. Me and Nostalgia are
Thank you.
getting together in November, baby.
All right, so New Wave Toys. So they were very, very fun at the convention. We went out for drinks with them. What blew me away, guys, is the fact that I figured that they were a small company. Like all these home arcade companies are small. But I figured maybe 20 employees. We found out at the show, Mike, how many was it?
6.
6.
Yeah.
6.
And 4 of them were Nostalgia. I was very confused.
Can you guys, let's put the chat on the screen so we get everyone's feedback on New Wave Toys and stuff. Can you believe only 6 employees in that whole company? I mean, obviously they have production and stuff that they hire people to do, but only 6 people in that company. And they are a close-knit bunch, and they are a ton of fun. And we went out drinking with them and stuff. And Shiloh is a crazy man. He is hilarious. He's a lot of fun. Like, if you think Detroit Love likes to party, go spend the night out on the town with Shiloh from New Wave Toys, the head honcho over there. I think that's 3 more than the iArcade. Way to go, Canada, Phil. But they were awesome. They brought some products to the show. We got to see the upcoming skee ball machine. And then we also saw, which we'll pull up here, the cigarette machines and stuff. So a little bit of Shiloh was hilarious. I was like, Shiloh, I was asking him, did you notice on your Facebook group that you're getting some people giving you some heat about making a mini cigarette machine as your next USB charger, the one on the left, the Cool, which, the real Cool cigarettes are spelled with a K, K-O-O-L. So this is satire. So it's cool. So they don't have to pay for licensing. Satires. This is also how people were like, well, how can that one guy, Vanilla Beast, make Retro Knockout without getting sued? It's called satire. It's called parody. Parody is 100% free use. So you can make this thing called Cool Cigarettes, but because it's spelled with a C instead of a K, it's parody. So it's completely legit. They don't have to pay any licensing fees. But I told him, I said, you notice that some people were complaining like you're sending a bad message and all that stuff. And I distinctly remember, Michael B., correct me if I'm wrong, but Shiloh said something along the lines of, oh, I don't give a shit.
100%. Quote for quote. And then he took me by the train and said, hey, buddy, do you want to see a dead body?
Oh, man. And I was right about the smirk. Who put that in the live chat? I was right about the smirk. He did smirk. That's right, guys. Full size New Wave Toys arcades are coming. We'll dive into that here in just a minute. But let's talk about this. So some people were like offended. And it's, guys, this is part of history. Like, how many of us, you go out and you had these cigarette dispensing machines? And also what's really cool is on these machines, you could actually swap out the artwork, which we saw at the convention. So it's going to have like, so if you don't like it saying Cool Cigarettes, you can put something else in there. You know what I mean?
The funniest thing they suggested, both Eduardo and Shiloh suggested, he's like, you can put a picture of your family there. And I was like, nothing like a family photo and a mini cigarette machine.
Yeah. Now, did they actually show you guys the little mini cigarettes and little mini lighters? Did they show you guys those?
No, I didn't see that.
So you know how when you buy their replicas, they come with little mini quarters? They pulled out and showed me. They had it hidden. They didn't have it on the table during the convention, but they had it behind the table. They said, we're thinking about including these. I don't know if they're actually going to include them, but they were little 1/6 scale cigarettes and cigarette lighters. And it was hilarious. Like, I was like, I don't know, man, but it was still funny to see that they were willing to make them. But hey, man, USB chargers. If you're interested, pre-order them. They're pretty cheap. Well, not pretty cheap. Holy cow! I thought they were $59. I guess they're $70. I didn't know that.
And my mother used to send me up to get her. She used to smoke Cools and Newport, and I remember
100s.
I don't recall, but I would go and they would have these bars because where I stayed, it was like part of the blues and jazz circuit, so you had a lot of these clubs, and they would always have you open up the first door and it's just this little lobby, and then there was another door to actually go into the place. So they would always have these little cigarette machines because they knew people didn't have to go into the club to get these cigarettes and they can make money from the vending. But yeah, I still remember putting the money in, pull that little thing, and the cigarettes fall out. So I've never been a smoker. I've only tried it once and didn't like it, and I think they're pretty cool. I mean, I don't know that I would get one because I don't really have the nostalgia for that, but I think it's a cool idea. I don't have any problem with it.
So Shiloh came up to me the first time I met him because we did the stream the night before, and I talked about the fact they were coming out with these cigarette machines, and I said this specifically. It's a lot like what Arcade 1-Up are going through with the Casino-cade, because they are basically putting out a product that could be construed as advertising smoking to minors or promoting smoking. Arcade 1-Up promoting gambling to minors with the Casino-cade. And Shiloh came up and he was like, so you don't like my cigarette machine, hey?
He did say that to you.
Yeah. So
and I disagree with that wholeheartedly because these products are not doesn't show up on the radar of kids. No kids like, hey, I want to get me a miniature arcade or a miniature change machine. They don't even know what these things are or a cigarette machine.
And anyways, the point I was trying to make though is with
these
these little
anyway me.
What?
Did you just anyway me?
Yeah, Carl, you jumped in. You cut me off. It was so rude.
Okay. Anyway, what I was saying was Michael don't know what the hell he's talking about. No kid's going to want to buy this or even be interested in it. Okay, go ahead, Mike. Finish your thought.
But like, I grew up in the era where, yeah, these were right there. If you went to like in university, they were right there in the bar. You could still buy the cigarettes. They were there in the arcades. So, I mean, it does make sense for people who want that wave of nostalgia when, yeah, man, there were ashtrays in the arcade. There were cigarette machines there for people to buy. It doesn't necessarily need to mean that, oh, I'm going to go out and pick up like 15 cartons of smokes now because smoking's cool. It's nostalgia from a different time when people smoke more regularly.
And the coolest thing about this, they had a real size cool one there that they were selling their keychains. That's the red button that you would be like the coin insert on a coin door, and they had them shaped into a box like a cigarette. So you could actually walk up to this machine, do your credit card purchase of it, and then pull the lever, and your keychain will fall down in a little box shaped like cigarettes.
Yeah, the story that we heard is that Artomat is the company who made the vending machine that they had actually on display. They had a full size cigarette dispensing machine at the convention, but it dispenses keychains. And the Artomat guys were there telling us how they find these old cigarette dispensing machines and they convert them into something more for kids these days and put these back in supermarkets and stuff where they're giving out toys and keychains and stuff. Like, why have this stuff end up in a landfill when it can be reused, right? Like, great idea. Super nice. The Artomat guy who we met, he was super
really nice.
Too.
Yeah.
Super nice guy too.
Kept trying to get me to buy cigarettes though.
Oh my god, you're the worst, Mike. You really are.
So while we were out with them, the funny thing was, me and Dubs actually ran out of cigarettes, and we were like, "Where do we go?" And we were like, "Oh, there's this gas station like right down this," and we were in the middle of nowhere, like literally right next to the train tracks. And Matthew Lesser was with us, and he was like, "I'm gonna just walk down to the store for you guys." We were like, "You're the nicest." We were totally thinking he was never making it back. That was the end of Matthew.
Yeah, like he started walking down this long dark road, and when he was walking down this long dark road along the train tracks, the first thing I said to the guys was, "You ever see the movie Stand By Me?"
Oh yeah,
And
he's got
like we didn't know if he was gonna come back or not. I'm trying to find something here because I want to have something playing in the background. Let's talk a little bit about their announcement, and then we got to talk about some AtGames Arcade 1-Up stuff. Let's find it.
And while you're looking that up here, I just want to ask Nostalgia a question. Nostalgia, how many bananas can fit in that Coca-Cola machine back there? I'm just curious.
I haven't actually tested, but if I had to guess, it depends if we're talking about the really jumbo bananas or the normal size bananas. If it's a jumbo size banana, if that's what you're comfortable wielding, you probably get like 4 in there. I think maybe 3, 4 you could really stuff in there. If it's the tiny little bananas, you could easily get 6 in there. If there's like a normal average banana, you can get 6, maybe 7. But it's not about how many bananas you can fit inside the compartment, Carl.
I see.
It's never about it's never about
some people
how
like
many.
to keep their bananas hot. Some people like to keep them cool. You know,
They do.
room temperature.
It has to be room temperature.
Has to be room temperature. Obviously, Carl, you're not a banana connoisseur.
Clearly not. You lose all of the flavor. The potassium degrades. There's a lot of problems with that.
You guys are hilarious. All right, so the other big news from New Wave Toys at the convention is they made an announcement. Now, we were all hoping the announcement would actually reveal something. However, they made an announcement of an announcement to come. It was kind of an announcement. The announcement is that Glen's Retro Show, Thunderstick Studios, his company, is going to partner with New Wave Toys, and that they're working on something, and that they'll be revealing that at a later date. So technically the announcement was they're partnering, but really it was more like an announcement of an announcement to come. So that, some of us were, pretty disappointed that, hey man, we didn't get like the full on reveal, but it's still exciting nonetheless for Glen, because I think this is something Glen's always wanted, right? To work with a company like this. What do you think about this, Mike?
100%. Glen deserves it. He's such a nice guy. Top quality products, terrible business model. Like, he's determined not to make any money, but just the best dude. And I felt bad for the team at New Wave, because I don't think they're at a stage with this partnership and what they're doing where they really can announce anything, because there's nothing of substance yet other than concepts. So, and possibilities. So, I mean, they were really backed into a corner because everybody came out and said, oh yeah, like definitely they're announcing a product at Cleveland Gaming Classic. And they were just like, what do we do? Like, everybody's expecting us to announce this product now. We're not there. Like, we don't. So it was a bad situation. At least they did announce the partnership with Glen. Hopefully something cool comes out of it. It could be this full-scale arcade that everybody wants. Might not be. Maybe they're going to make a miniature Tron Replicade, and Glen's stick is going to be in it. There's going to be a mini version. We don't know. We don't know what the partnership is. So I would advise people, I know it's the cool thing to do. It's fun to speculate, and we would all love to see New Wave Toys make a big cabinet, but just be patient, enjoy what they make, and if something really big and cool does come out, hell man, then we can celebrate.
I actually thought the vending machine was the announcement, and then everyone was upset because they said that there was an announcement. That's what I was like. Everyone's like, there wasn't an announcement. I was like, they literally announced the new product at the show.
Look at
why is everyone freaking out? It's because I think everyone was like rumoring about those 3/4 scale or whatever, and they were like, oh, anything other than that isn't going to be an announcement. Anything other, if it's not that exciting, it's not even worth listening to. But I'm pretty sure they made an announcement, and then they revealed 2 products that are coming out.
Hey, Glen, can we get a better hint than this? Because Glen, don't play with my audience, our audience here. Because you know what, dude? Every time I've asked you what's going on, you give me all the vibes, signs, winks, and hints that this is something that's more closer to 99 out of 100th scale.
Yeah, it'd be 100th over 100. Now, just for the record here, that Coca-Cola, this is not.
Come on, Glenn.
This is not a product placement because they were on this stream. Steven's pop was getting a little warm, so I went over there and talked to New.
I remember
to put and set this up so he can keep his pop cold.
Haywood had to sit there for hours in that seat, interview tons and tons of people, and he had nothing to keep his beverages cool until Detroit Love, the real American hero, got the Coke machine from the booth next door from the New Wave Toys people, basically stole it, which is pretty funny.
And it was like, the other guy came back, he was like, hey, where's our Coca-Cola machine? Let's put it over there.
Dubs, do we 19K Fox comment
on display. I'm like,
what?
You got a box right there. That's good though.
Dubs 19K Fox's comment, 1/6 scale Crystal Pepsi machine. Do we have the budget to license Van Halen right now?
No, we don't. Not this show. You got the wrong broadcast.
Do you remember that commercial when Crystal Pepsi first came out? Right now, everybody.
Everyone knows I'm on Team Pepsi. Everyone knows we've talked about this for months.
I'm gonna do that in my mini Coke review.
My entire family hated Crystal Pepsi. I remember
I
when
love Crystal Pepsi.
My mom saw the commercials, and my mom told my dad when he was at the grocery store, "Go get a case of that new Crystal Pepsi. Let's try it." And we tried it, and we never tried it again. It was horrible. There was just something wrong with it. It almost tasted like Coca-Cola.
You have no idea how ignorant you sound right now.
I don't care. Pepsi for the win, bro.
Yeah,
Pepsi for the win.
So
ignorant,
fresh and
ridiculous boy.
I opened up my
now.
I opened up that Coke mini fridge today, and I was thinking about that. The only actual cans in the house I have right now are Pepsi. So I was going to do the review and then pull out the Pepsi and then have like a turn black and go sacrilege.
No, it was a lot of fun meeting Glenn as well. I was
Glenn.
Glenn and Steven. So we had some good talks, man. Good guys for certain.
So when I see Glenn's videos, Glenn usually has the camera on a tripod, like at his knee level, pointed upwards, and Glenn is a very thin, narrow guy. So I honestly thought Glenn was like 6'2". Like I thought he was a tall dude. We met Glenn. Glenn was what, like 4'11"? Like he was
a hobbit.
He was a hobbit. Glenn is not tall at all. Now Glenn's like what, 5'8", 5'9", I think. But Glenn,
he's not. I thought it was like 6 feet. I thought at least that.
Oh no! Like I thought I'd be looking up.
Boots on. If he has Negan boots on.
Yeah. See, nostalgia. You're confused because not all parts of his appendages are all the same size.
And I remember my buddy Haywood from the Tech Buzz. I remember whenever I would talk to him, I'd be like, "Dude, you seem really tall. How tall are you?" He'd always tell me he was 6'3". I met him at the convention, and he was barely taller than me. And I was like, "Dude, you are not 6'3". How tall are you really?" "I'm 6'1". Why is it men always add 2 inches? What is it with men and 2 additional inches? It's hilarious. But yeah, I had a blast.
How tall are you?
What is it with people who add inches though? Nostalgia, seriously.
Because we're insecure.
I'm 5'11". I don't exaggerate. I'm 5'11". Everyone who met me at the convention saw I'm 5'11", like 5'11 and a half. There you go. All right, cool. So let's get off of that. Let's talk a little bit about AtGames. It's been a fun week for AtGames. Woohoo! All right, so AtGames. Pepsi caused Michael Jackson's hair to catch on fire. I don't remember that story.
That's a true story. And a commercial he did.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I can't remember everything that happened in the
They cut him on fire.
There was a pyrotechnics.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he got like massive burns all over his face.
Pepsi commercial. Like almost killed him.
Yep. And they tried to put it out with Pepsi, and it made
it didn't work. It made it worse.
I honestly don't remember that. I think as much as a lot of us were fans of Michael Jackson growing up back then, the one news story that I'll never forget is the baby over the balcony story. You remember that? Yeah. Like holding the baby over the balcony. Everyone thought he was going to drop the baby. Like Like, I don't remember his hair catching on fire. Like, I legit don't remember that. So
that was not, I don't want to say early in his career, but that was like right in the middle of his like popularity, I think.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's almost like you can't hear any negativity towards Pepsi. Pepsi almost killed Michael Jackson. Fake news. By the way,
I didn't say it was fake news. I just said honestly, I don't remember it.
And if you don't remember, it didn't exist.
I'm sure it happened. Oh yeah, that's from
time.
That's from the movie Road Trip. And if you don't really remember it, then it never really took place. All right, let's take a look here. So AtGames Legends Pinball 4KP orders went live, and AtGames came out of the woodwork today, unsolicited, unmotivated, just randomly decided to run around and tell everyone, hey guys, orders went better than expected, and all that kinds of stuff. And and that's good for them. That's great to hear.
That's not exactly what happened. But yeah, they gave an update in the YouTuber group, and they said, orders went better than expected. We ended up doubling our expected targets between Canada and the US. So, we're happy with the way things went. And then some of the people that are in that YouTuber thread went on YouTube and made videos, but it's not like they came out and said, everybody make videos on this. They just shared the news with us. And then Rascal and a couple other people were like, can we share this data? And they were like, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, because it was very interesting that, I put out this video yesterday and it was clearly labeled as a speculation video. Had a big question mark on the thumbnail, question mark in the title. Throughout the whole concept of the video, I was like, what's going on? It seems kind of weird that they're trying, because here's my issue. Let's put this in perspective. Let's mute this. Here's my issue, guys. When iArcade updated to the Gold Edition, they never once made an announcement on any social media platform and specifically told their owners, sell your original cabinet and use that money to buy the new cabinet. They never once said that.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Arcade 1UP has released Pac-Man 10 times over. Arcade 1UP has never gone on any social media and said, do us a favor, guys, sell your Gen 2 Pac-Man and buy Gen 8. You know what I mean? Like, they've never done it. AtGames actually put out a Facebook post 2 days after the pre-orders went live, telling people to sell their pinball machines so they could take that money and buy the new one. And to me, that felt weird. And you guys have to put yourself in my shoes, because I've never heard a company tell me that before. Sell your machine and then buy our new one. Like, it was weird. So I made a video. It was, Mike, let me finish. It was clearly labeled as just a speculation video. Like, I don't understand this. Like, what is the messaging here? Are sales not what they meant them to be? However, I'm happy to say that every story has a happy ending, because AtGames came out today and said, we believe we sold 2 times the amount that we thought we would. So that's good for AtGames then. Good for the pinball machine and all that kinds of stuff.
Yeah, Carl O was in my chat last night to my show, and he threw up a number. And P-Dubs, you got it right, because I saw him talking about it on Brad's stream earlier. So it is based on when he placed his order and the order number, and then the order number is later in the day. So, I mean, I don't know how that works exactly, but he assumes they made between 2 and 3.5 million yesterday, is what his guess was. Oh, well, over the 4-day sale period.
Yeah, so I guess I kicked a hornet's nest a little bit. So hey, man, but that's why we make this content, so we could have these conversations in the community, so we can all talk about this stuff and make sure we're all happy with everything that's going on.
So you think you were the sole reason why all this happened?
No, not at all. Congrats on your happy ending. Wagner's here as well. Wagner's Tech Talks is definitely great news. Yeah, absolutely great news if they actually sold that much. Yeah, I mean, I remember. Do you guys remember when the first Legends pinball machine went for sale? We're going back, like, how long has it been out? 2 years? Yeah, we're going back. Yeah, because the original arcade machine was what, about 5 years ago? 2 years ago was pinball. Do you guys remember when the pinball machine, the first one, went up for sale? They did them and said you're in waves, which is kind of like what they're doing now. You're in wave 1, wave 2. Do you remember people were comparing order numbers? Like all over the Facebook groups, all over Reddit. And they were like, I'm order number 32681. when is mine going to ship? What do you got? What do you got? And then people were trying to guess like when their machine is shipping and how many pinball machines they actually sold. It's kind of like we're going through that same thing again with this, right? Like, and then AtGames, and now here's what's interesting. AtGames back then said, well, wait a minute, guys, order numbers for the store count for everything that comes in, not just pinball machines.
Yeah.
So order number 1 could be for a pinball machine. Number 2 could be for something else. Number 3 could be for a pinball pack. Number 4 could be for a control panel. Number 5 could be for a Legends Ultimate arcade machine. Oh, here's number 6. Now we sold another pinball machine, right? So it doesn't mean they sold 6 pinball machines. There were 6 orders that came in, and maybe 2 were pinball machines, right? And people just got overly obsessed with this a couple of years ago. Do you remember? People went nuts. Like, when is my pinball machine shipping? I'm order number XYZ. And I think we're going to end up in that same scenario this time, guys. I really think we are, because
So the other piece of news that AtGames shared with us is like some of the things that we talked about in the community and talked about were the negatives towards current owners, like the fact that you couldn't automatically just bring your games over. You had to rebuy your games, stuff like that. The data that AtGames actually brought up actually supports that, because the majority of the purchases of the AtGames Legends Pinball were brand new owners. So these are new people that have never previously bought an AtGames product before, are now buying the LP 4KP for the very first time. I think at one point they told me it was close to 70% of the orders were brand new customers and only 30% were returning customers. So a lot of the things you say about, like, and a lot of people said about, the price point, not getting the games back, the fact that, we haven't even seen Zen Pinball run on this yet. So it's a lot of money to throw down, like, without seeing an actual action. Right. That's come true in the community with only 30% upgrading, or 30% of previous Legends owners. But for some reason, they're bringing in new customers.
Yes, yeah, it was a bummer that they didn't have it available at the Cleveland Gaming Classic. That would have been awesome to see. I heard it's going to be at the Chicago venue, so I'm looking forward to seeing it in action. I've been talking about the Pinball 2.0 since they came out with this one, because I never really was happy with the shape and some of the features. So I'm excited for it. I don't know if I'm excited to buy it because I already have one, right? And I still play my Toy Shock more than
I just like garbage. I'm just gonna play this.
No, his is a fully modded V-Pin Toy Shock.
I know.
So his is pretty badass.
And it works flawless. So hey, if it ain't broke, I'm playing.
Yeah. I will say this. I actually tried to help as much as I could get the AtGames Pinball available in Canada right away. And I did ask people, I'm like, guys, I need to get some feedback, how many people are going to order and stuff like that, because I'm trying to convince AtGames. A lot of the feedback I did get from the consumers were, I don't like Addams Family. I'm going to wait for a different skin. So it is still a weird choice that they announce, like, the collector's editions. Good on them for telling people, like, we're going to have collector's editions later on, because honestly, if you bought Addams Family and then you found out a couple months later, oh, we're going to come out with Indiana Jones, you would have been like, son of a bitch. But at the same time, it did potentially dilute sales for people that are waiting for a different skin, right?
Mm-hmm. But you got to keep in mind, AtGames isn't about making as much money on product launch. They're about making as much money as they can over the life of the product. So they don't care if somebody's going to wait on version 2, version 3, skin 4, whatever it is, because they still get that sale, right? And I think from their perspective, they would rather have the customer make a purchase and be truly happy with it than to buy something and then feel resentment towards the company that sold it to them because 2 months later they announce a different skin that's essentially the same product, but is something that they would have preferred. So I think they've done this well. The other big thing that we didn't really, I don't know if anyone else said it, maybe I missed it, but you mentioned that a good chunk of these sales were from new customers.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised by that even in the slightest, because this wasn't just promoted by AtGames. You've got Zen, who was promoting the snot out of this too. So you've got access to Zen's customers who are going to look at that and say, okay, I like Zen Pinball. I'm going to be wanting to play it. This is a good way for me to buy an officially licensed Zen machine that's not an arcade one-up, that has Addams Family or the new Pinball FX titles, And I think that's also going to help them as long term. They announced the same thing. So now you've got the potential of dipping into AtGames' current market pool that they have access to in terms of their reach. But then you can also touch base with like the Zen side, and Zen side may be like, oh, I'll wait till the Marvel one comes out, or the Star Wars, or the Indiana Jones, or the My Little Pony, or whatever else.
Yeah.
So
we did several streams about this ever since the details on these machines came out, where we specifically said it's going to be very hard for current owners to decide to upgrade. So all of us said this on every YouTube channel.
And we didn't. We were all shilling it. We would never tell people the truth. I mean, I would never say something negative about a company because I truly believe it.
In my solo videos about it, in my live stream with Tech Buzz, I'm like, I really don't see current owners buying it, but I do see it's perfect for new customers.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So.
Well, I think there's another issue that came up during this is right before these sales went up, they actually delayed or canceled the upgrade boards, right? And everybody was like up in arms about that. And I understand why, because like people were just like, I'm just going to upgrade my machine. I'm not going to buy a new one. So it seemed like dirty pool from AtGames to cancel the upgrade board. They put out a press release that identified that the reason why they were canceling the upgrade board was because people had actually asked to cancel the order. They were just going to get the 4K AtGames. And the other reason why, and I can confirm this one, is they've put everything else on hold. Their focus right now is getting the AtGames Legends Pinball 4KP out. So I don't know. I hope the upgrade board still comes out. So let's see.
In my opinion, the upgrade boards I can see being a customer service nightmare, especially if people go start
100%.
Fiddling with their machines and they break their machines. However, the fact that they announced it got people excited that they wouldn't have to spend all this money to potentially upgrade to the newer platform.
Yeah.
And then they pulled the rug out from under them right now. I mean, that kind of stinks. That kind of stinks.
I think Nostalgia nailed it on that. I think they're the kind of company that wants to do everything for everybody. And then PK was like, yeah, we're going to do an upgrade board. And then he started thinking about all the bad things that could happen. And if you've ever seen Arrested Development, he was just like, I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, like those EDP cables. I mean, if you're pretty rough and violent and don't have the hands of a surgeon, or if you move too quick, you'll break those. Like guys, when I got my first pinball machine, I broke those twice. I broke those.
I'm not surprised about that.
And I was so mad. You know what I mean? But stuff happens. So
yeah,
it is what it is. It was my fault, not AtGames. And I was clear about that because people are like, P-Dubs, why haven't you made any content about the new pinball machine you received? I'm like, because it's broken and I broke it. And I'm waiting on parts. But stuff happens, man. Shit happens. So yeah.
Well, I watched a video back in the day with iArcade where Michael Zvebeck actually went out and built an iArcade for somebody. So, I mean, they got Michael Zvebeck now. They could just send him out to do all the upgrades to people's machines.
I will, man. I mentioned this in that video I did yesterday. It was really cool at the Cleveland Gaming Classic that I saw Aaron, who works on, I think, their support team, like customer service stuff, and then John Irigoyen. I can never say his name.
John
right.
Irigoyen.
Whatever. John, he runs their customer service team. That they were actually, when people would buy the products on the showroom floor, they were actually carrying them out to people's cars for them. Like no other vendors were helping people take stuff out. And don't be like, oh wait, these are arcade machines, speed-ups. Guys, people were selling pretty big collectibles there. That some of them could have used some assistance going to the car, but these guys actually carried the stuff out to the car for them. I thought that was really cool.
So I got to bring this up. Like Aaron, that was at the convention, is Killer Penguins. He's the guy that beat me. And who was the other guy? Canada Phil. He's the one who beat me and Canada Phil in that Build Your Own Legends competition. If I knew I could get a job with AtGames if I won that competition, I sure would have tried harder.
Yes, Wagner, that was pretty awesome. It was very cool of them, man. Like, it was really cool to see them carrying the machines out there for everybody. And
they were like, please take them. We do not want to try to ship them home. Like, we will do whatever we can to put them in the cars.
Yeah, they're pretty funny. And did I tell you the funny story? So the one guy that they were taking out, and I here, what is that?
Hey, that's when we visit the fake Restauge's house.
Okay, hold on. So the one guy I walked out with him because I was talking with John at the time while they were carrying the machines, and I was talking to the new guy. They had never owned an AtGames product before, right? They were so excited. They were like, "This thing's so cool! We can't wait to take it home." And they were pulled up the SUV, and John and Aaron carried it out. And I was walking next to them, just talking like, "How's the convention? How's the show been going?" and stuff. And then when they got in the car, like John, it was so funny. John slides it in. He slides it into the back of the car. He's like, if you need any help getting this thing set up, you have my direct email. We'll get you going. You're really going to enjoy the 300 games. And when I heard John say that, I don't know why, but this voice came out of my body. It wasn't me. It was a voice. This weird demon came out of my body. I kind of blurted out loudly saying, or you could add thousands of games to it with CoinOps X. Like, to this new owner. The new owner looks at me. He's like, I could add games to it? And I was like, yeah, thousands of them. And John from AtGames is standing there, and he's like, yeah, you might want to watch Wagner's Tech Talk or P-Dubs on YouTube and figure that out. It was so funny.
I had the similar experience. I was coming back in. I had to go. I went and got my Coke machine because I had a Shiloh sign it. And it was a guy coming out with an AOU with his son. They were so happy. And I was like, look for CoinOps.
Yeah.
He's like, what's that? I'm like,
John is trying to pimp the 300 games on the cabinet.
No, sir. No, sir. You just got to go tell him about what else you can do. I actually had friends of mine that have never seen the AtGames Legends Ultimate before. Like my friend Chris, Weekend Game Guy, he went over to it and he was like, this thing's incredible. Like for $480, I can't build a multi-cade for that. This thing is awesome. So like it was cool to see, even though they didn't have new products, man, that booth was rocking. And people honestly were coming up and they were just like, with the sale prices and stuff like that, they were like, this is a no-brainer. I can just get like this great cheap multi-cade and then take it home and I can play all the arcade games I want.
See, if I actually worked for AtGames and if I was at that convention, that's what I would have been doing. I'd be like, look, hey, buddy, you see this thing here? Look, I know it's got 300. Yes, 90% of them are shit. But let me tell you what you can do with it when you get home. Sell them all.
I can't believe you guys are promoting piracy on our show without even discussing this amongst
Nostalgic,
the four of us.
you have a whole channel and existence based off piracy.
No, your channel is all about piracy.
My channel is absolutely not about piracy.
There is nothing legitimate about your channel. In fact,
tutorials.
I heard the FTC was about to shut down your channel. Oh, there they go. He went away. Oh, man.
Too bad.
They got him.
And the interesting thing about the AtGames booth, because I was in there quite a bit.
Oh,
most of those pinball machines were always with somebody on them playing them. So the interest of digital pinball, when you're at a place like that where you had a whole lot of real real pinball machines, literally just steps away from it, for that many people to be in there all the time playing that, says a lot for the interest of digital pinball.
Yeah,
that's something you can have at home for a price.
Yeah, their booth was full all the time, Carl. I agree. David asked this earlier, and I pulled it up, and I meant to ask you guys, but then I forgot. Now we've cost David $5. So
sorry, David.
We'll take that out of Nostalgia's paycheck this week. P-Dubs, do you know if the AtGames 4K pinball can run CoinOps? Honestly, I'm not going to give you a definitive answer on that right now because A, I have a feeling we have to wait for the general loader. B, Wagner never showed it in his little videos. And Wagner said, didn't he say something like, you're going to be able to do it, but a different way, which I think is the general loader stuff. So I think we're waiting to see. I think the answer is yes. I don't think everyone's like, is AtGames going 100% legit? I don't think that's the case.
Never. Never.
Yeah. I don't think that's the case.
And you've got three because you're going to make a video about it if it does. So,
so I agree. Carl's absolutely right. So I think, yes, it's going to happen, but a different process than what we do today. So get ready for all new 2023 tutorials by Nostalgia.
Dubs, you're salivating. What's your number one video on YouTube?
I think it's that Talking Tom animatronic toy, which for some reason got a shit ton of views.
Okay, what's your number two video?
Number 2 video. Is it my Star Wars spoof video?
No, it's your coin ops video, coin ops tutorial.
Coin ops? Never heard of it. All right, let's continue on, boys. So that's what's going on in the world of AtGames. Wagner's Tech Talk gave us $15.
Hey,
Enjoyed all your coverage at Cleveland. Hope to see you guys heading to Chicago next month. Look at that. Wagner Tech Talk is going to conveniently be in Chicago at the Chicago Pinball Expo.
I heard AtGames might be there.
This all sounds like a devious plot, John. Something you'd want to confess?
So I was talking to John about it too. I really want to go, but I didn't. I made plans for Cleveland, so my flights will be about $900 Canadian, and like then I got to figure out, accommodations. I don't think it's going to happen this close, but stranger things had happened, and you're going, P-Dubs, so maybe I will pop up.
I will be in Chicago for sure. I already booked my ticket, and what's really nice about Chicago is I get to stay with family, so I don't have to worry about hotel rooms.
Can I stay with your family too?
Nope.
Why not? You're such a weirdo. I mean, I'd get along great with your family. You don't know that.
Nope. My family's seen your YouTube channel. They don't like you.
That is so rude.
Oh, wow.
They like Detroit Love.
Okay, I guess Detroit Love's going. Jesus.
So
Mike, let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. All right, man. I'm just messing with you. I'm pulling your leg.
So in Cleveland, I did run into the guy from a custom arcade, so I was able to get my
Nick's
team, encoder, which I was excited about. Then I was like, hey, wait. Oh, I just broke it.
Oh.
All right. And I'm like, hey, didn't I pay $10 for shipping? Because he gave me one because he had one on him, and just satisfied my order. But that was pretty cool. And I saw the guys from Canada. Was the Buy Stuff guys?
Yes.
But it was a lot of the viewers that were there, and everyone was just so nice, man. Some had their spouses with them, some had their kids with them. To me, that was the greatest thing. It was a lot of stuff there to see, and I got to play Duck Hunt, which I was very excited about that. But the most exciting thing for me, aside from meeting you guys, was being able to see a lot of the community.
Best part.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah, best part. Yeah, Michael B was like signing autographs, telling me, "This is incredible, man. This is surreal." How do you spell
surreal?
$25 a pop too.
Michael B was the only guy charging for YouTuber autographs. What was up with that, Mike?
And he had a kissing and hugging booth as well.
Actually, I got in a lot of trouble over that kissing booth picture the boys put up. My wife was not happy about that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. She called me. She was furious. I had to take down my picture off Facebook and everything.
I saw the kissing booth. The hugging, she allowed the hugging, but not the kissing.
Yeah. That did not go over well with the missus.
Well, Mike serves you right. You should have been thinking about her before you put it up.
I didn't put it up.
No. Now we're making excuses. Listen,
Yeah, but when he got
it for our actions, buddy.
But when he got up there and he saw the signs that said kissing booth, live super chat readings, and what was the other one?
Hugging, free hugs.
Free hugs. He looked at it and he said, agreed. And he sat down. So there you go.
That's true. Acceptance.
Yep, Wagner, we will see you in Chicago. We'll look forward to meeting you in person. And maybe we can make a guide while we're in Chicago. We'll make a guide of just walking through something, like how to get the best. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make a guide, how to find the best Chicago hot dog. And Wagner, you better publish that on your website. I'll show you how to get the best.
P-Dubs has already got the web address. P-Dubs Tech Talk already done. He's starting his own website, John. He's coming for you.
Yeah. I had a website once before, pdubsarcadeloft.com, and then I stopped using it.
What'd you do on your website?
Huh? Well, I was gonna publish it like along with the YouTube channel, but then it just became like just more work. You know,
it is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. All right. That's all the topics that we had on our thumbnail and stuff. But is there anything going on? Yeah,
Glenn's Viper board. Atari 2600.
Atari, 2600.
Yeah. Oh, we got to talk about
Pi 5.
The Raspberry Pi 5. Yeah,
that's
exactly,
right,
Carl. That's right.
All right.
Go
ahead. Take it away then. Tell me about the Raspberry Pi 5 nostalgia. Let's pretend You're the host of the show.
Can we talk about Glen's Viper board first?
Yeah, let's talk about the more important stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, shoot.
What about it? What do you got?
Glen actually sent me some stuff. Let me get my shit up. I actually wrote him and said, "Can you send me some stuff?" And then Glen said, "Go F yourself." And I was like, "That's rude." And then he sent me some stuff.
Okay. You know what? We got to do something. I'm so sorry. We're an hour and 15 minutes into the show, and I promised that we would do this. So, you guys know Old School Gamer magazine, right?
Yes.
No.
You don't know Old School Gamer magazine, Nostalgia?
No.
You don't even know what old school is. He's new school.
All right. So Ryan from Ryan from Old School Gamer magazine sent us a little clip. If you guys don't know, they're doing this year's Kickstarter. They do a Kickstarter every year. It's what keeps this little indie magazine going. I'm going to play this clip. It's about a 2.5 minute clip, but maybe I'll play about a minute of it, and then we'll come right back. But guys, make sure you check this out. And if you're interested, go to Kickstarter, go to Old School Gamer magazine. Whether you want a digital copy or physical copy, it's a great magazine. We love the magazine. I read it every month, and it's so cool. And you guys should, if you haven't read an issue yet, you should. It's great information. We'll be right back, and this will give Mike time to get the Viper board assets, which you don't want to miss.
Buckle up, gamers. Duke Nukem here. Hey, it's time to rock your game. Old School Gamer is starting episode 7. That's 6+ years of ass-kicking retro gaming. So now listen to this announcer guy as he tells you more.
Okay, here are the options on how you can support Old School Gamer magazine in this Kickstarter. For $20, you can get a 1-year digital subscription, which is available worldwide. Or, for only $95, you can go with a lifetime digital subscription that will never expire. For those of you who want a physical magazine, $50 will get subscribers in the USA a 1-year print subscription, which also includes access to the digital version. For our Canadian neighbors, you can get the same thing for just a little bit more to cover shipping. While those options will cover most of you, if you really want to rock Old School Gamer, check these options out. $175 will secure you a spot on our subscriber advisory board. This comes with 2 print and digital subscriptions, one for you and one for a friend, access to the Old School Gamer private Facebook group, a shout out to you in every issue, plus a special edition t-shirt and badge with lanyard, showing off your position as an advisory board member. For $450, you get to choose who is featured in the magazine. One of our staff will write a 1 to 2 page article about the person or subject of your choice. You get all the previous benefits of the lower tiers along.
All right.
Do you know, I think ads during live streams are disgusting.
Mike. I
What?
see what you've done here. It may not be a great idea.
Okay. You're going to be that way?
No, I'm comfortable with it.
Wait,
I'm just
comfortable
saying
with
that
what?
maybe
What's going
somebody
on?
else might not be.
I know. I don't want to put Fox in a bad situation.
Okay.
All right.
What? Someone's got an extra window.
Nope.
Echo.
I hear that echo.
Okay,
Mike,
hold
Mike,
on.
you.
Jesus Christ.
I
The
think
mic
that's you,
sounds
Mike.
nice. Check
Yeah,
one.
That was Mike. That was Mike. Guys.
It's always
Sorry,
Mike.
this
You know
guys.
what?
This isn't a professional broadcast. You guys know this. All right, let's
Okay,
see, Mike.
let's try it now.
All right. What do we got, Mike?
So here it is, guys. The GRS Viper RK3566 USB 2.0 times 2, USB 3.0 times 1, USB-C times 1, HDMI times 1, DSI times 1, Wi-Fi, 3.5 audio, GPIO X40, DC in, 8 gigabyte eMMC SD card slot, RAM 1 gigabyte, removable CPU, RAM board. Power your gaming with the Viper. Truckosaurus.
Nostalgia, considering the amount of work you've done on Raspberry Pis and some emulation and stuff, what are you thinking of the specs on Glen's Viper board for future modding projects and things like that?
It is certainly powerful enough to do almost all of the retro gaming that you want to do. I'm just looking up the the actual specs on that board. Yeah, Cortex A55. It's a 2020 Q2 chip. It's going to be clocked in at 1.8 gigahertz. Yeah, 4 gigs of onboard memory capacity. I don't know if it says specifically what it's going to have. I bet you it doesn't have 4. Maybe it'll go 2. Glenn, if Glenn is here, he can tell us how much RAM is going to be on it. I think that for the purpose of this,
Says
this is
16 gigabyte.
1 gigabyte.
Oh,
1 gig of RAM. There you go. Yeah.
1 gig of RAM.
So 8 gigs of storage. I think it's actually pretty good. This is the board that you could use with your iArcade, right?
iArcade
or other projects.
Or other projects. Okay.
I got another one here. Let me just bring it up. The arcade is also going to be using Glen's Viper board as well. So they're working with the arcade from Retro Center.
Ah, and do you know what arcade is?
It's that thing Cyrus was talking about the other night. Said Cyrus arcade.
This is also what Legends Unchained is, and now that you're promoting this, PK is going to be mad at you, Mike. You better take that off the screen.
Well, live by the sword, die by the sword. You know how
I am. But why am I looking at a beautiful winter sunset? What is going on there?
I'm trying to find the screen where I had the picture up for the board.
Yeah, so you'll be able to use Glen's board in your own projects, the iArcade, whatever you want to do. Glenn said that
it put it in the Buildacade.
Yeah, that's the other one. Buildacade, the iArcade, that one there, and maybe some more projects as well.
This board is going to fit inside that tiny ass Buildacade. Is that what you're saying?
You best believe.
Interesting. Well, and he also said.
Can I say the price?
Yep.
$40.
$40.
Is it 40 or $39.99?
$39.99.
Okay,
$40.
I gotta save that penny.
Yep. And Glenn,
if you buy it at Walmart, it'll be $39.97.
Right.
And Glenn, remind us in the live chat. I remember you said it will be have Batacera on it as well, but you said there might be another OS that runs on it. We're out of the box. Can you refresh my memory, buddy? Let's see what he says in the live chat. I'm pretty sure Batacera is one of them.
Hold on.
Which I like Batacera.
MG says, how is it so cheap? It's Glen's business model determined not to make any money.
Yep.
His margins are so low. It's killing him.
Now, what's good about him having Batacera 37, guys, is that's the latest edition of Batacera. So it will have the Sinden light gun support built in as well. So you can technically use this as well. Make yourself a little retro shooting cabinet if you want. Because I think that started in Batacera 35, if I recall, if not Batacera 36, where it had the support for Sinden. So that's pretty cool as well. Yep, Sinden support. Boom. Boom. Look at that. There you go. Look at Nostalgia deep in his research.
Nostalgia's like, I can make so many videos. I'm going to get back on track in 2024.
He's like, wait a minute. He's like, wait a minute. Can I put this in a PlayStation Classic? No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm just looking at just a bunch of comparisons between this chipset and some of the other ones that are in the market. For a baseline, if you looked at essentially anything that the ALU can do, this board can do. It's a more powerful chipset. It's a more recent chipset. It's clocked at a higher frequency. And I would say it's probably just based off of the benchmarking scores, you're going to get somewhere between 25 to 50% better performance out of that board. So it is a slightly more advanced board than what you would get in the AtGames Core or the AtGames ALU or any of those sort of things. So it's not super powerful, but anything that you would want to play retro gaming wise will absolutely run on it.
Anything?
What'd you have in mind, Mike?
Anything that has already been released or is already playable on a product like that.
Okay, that's a fairer answer. So You're not telling everybody you can play anything. Like, oh yeah, you can go play like
You're not playing NFL
games.
Blitz on it. Yeah, you're not playing NFL Blitz. You're not playing Daytona USA. You're not playing. I don't even know if you'd really be able to run.
Glenn knows what the
like
people
Marvel
want.
Race.
Bubbles.
Yeah, bubbles.
They can play bubbles.
It is a great option for people who are going to be using it in like custom builds that they're doing. Did he mention the price? You said the price.
$39.99.
That's an excellent price, and that's I would almost argue is a better alternative to a Raspberry Pi.
Good stuff. Glenn, I'm excited about your board. We all want to get our hands on it and play with it and see what we can do with it. I like the fact that you could use this in many, many things, just like a Raspberry Pi. You know what I mean? You'll be able to figure it out and do lots of mods with it. So I think Glenn has some videos on his channel, Retro Lab. I always say Labat, but it's Lab Rat.
Retro Labat.
I always say Retro Labat. There you go. Viper for the kill. I mean, $40 though. There you go. We'll probably have to get Glenn on to talk more about his board. We also, guys, we have an announcement for next week. I actually meant to talk about this earlier when we were talking about New Wave Toys, but we actually have more people here now. Next Friday, which is next Friday, September 6th, it's going to be a can't miss episode because Shiloh from New Wave Toys is going to be on the Super Game Room Dudes for the very first time. We're going to interview him, and you guys know me. We're going to try and pressure him to reveal more than he should. So make sure you guys tune in next week for that interview with Shiloh. So we'll get all your questions asked and answered, as many as we possibly can. And hopefully we'll get him to reveal what he's working on with Glenn and all that kinds of stuff.
That's right, everybody. Jump in your DeLoreans, head back in time. September 6th. We'll be
Did I say
Shiloh?
No, October 6th. Did I say
6th.
September?
Yes, you did.
October 6th. Next.
You said September 6th, 1955.
Yeah. November 6th, 1955.
November 5th, I used to do that. I'm such a dickhead. When I was a young kid, I'd get in the cab and the cab driver would be like, and I'd be drunk, and the cab driver would be like, "Where to, pal?" And I'd be like, "November 5th, 1955. And he was like,
"Oh my God.
Fuck out."
You guys are hilarious. All right, hang on one quick second. Mike, can you just take over? I got to take care of something real quick.
Yeah. Oh, it's my time to shine. I'm making changes already. Looking good.
Yeah.
That was quick. You took care of that pretty quick.
Nostalgia, how the hell are you, man?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
You been playing with that Coke mini fridge much?
All the time.
It's really neat. Really neat. I opened it up this morning for the first time.
It's my favorite product that they've released.
Really?
It's my favorite product that they've released. And it's just like a cool novelty. I'm not even like, I do have Coke in here.
Yeah.
And it's nice and cold. Like it's cool.
Oh yeah. I was surprised because I have the Xbox mini fridge. That's a better product than that goddamn Xbox mini fridge by leaps and bounds.
The Xbox mini.
Yeah, but I'm not.
I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like the Xbox Series X, right? Is that the one that you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's just well done. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not even like. It's not even super nostalgic, but like everything about it, the little coin functionality that the coin door works, or the coin slot works. You can press a button, a little tiny can pops out. Just everything about it is just cool.
Yeah,
it's just a cool device.
I'm trying to get him to do a Royal Crown Cola one.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for all those Canadians.
Yep. Anything else, guys? What else?
Raspberry Pi 5. Atari 2600 Berserk.
I saw a Facebook post about the Pi 5, but I didn't even read it yet, so I'm not up to speed on it.
More Analog Pockets are coming out. They're coming for all your money. Analog wants to take over your houses. Those sons of bitches.
You know, I have that Analog Pocket, and I haven't even been able to do anything with it because I'm so far behind on stuff. It's crazy. Just sitting there in its box, just waiting for me. It's sad. It's sad. First world problems. Oh, there you go. When's your Pac-Man XL review coming out, Michael B?
Early next week, Paul, tomorrow night. You know how I like to stream every single night of the week. Got to get those super chats. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be doing a live stream and actually playing some of the games on the Pac-Man XL and giving my first thoughts. And then sometime early next week, I should get my review done. I've also got a review of another one of those Kin Hank's consoles coming out, and also the Coke mini fridge. So I'm going to be busy over the course of the next week.
There you go. Nostalgia, we going to see any content from you next week?
I hope so.
Lots
I've got
of
a couple of
Amazon-
handhelds.
Oh yeah.
These have been out for a little while, but the
Let's see
the
what we got.
Anbernic RG 353V.
Dude, that's been out for like 8 months. Where you been?
Busy.
I know. I'm
But it's
in the
sweet.
I'm in the same boat as you. I'm just giving you shit.
This is like the upgraded version of the 351V. But they've
Okay.
got the 2 analog sticks. It's a little bit more beefier, but you're not really getting that much better performance out of it. But generally speaking, it's actually like a super nice handheld. And I spent like several weeks playing with this thing just to like really test it out. And it's actually pretty good. I really like the 351V. It was one that I actually said was like one of my favorite handheld consoles that I've ever used. But this takes that. It reduces it a little bit in form factor, so slightly smaller, but it improves on it. Like the speaker placement's better, 2 analog sticks. Everything about it is actually just a little bit better. So you did a good job with it. You'll get a video from that on this guy.
I'm excited, man. I'm happy to see Nostalgia back to making content. I always miss his videos.
Nostalgia has
I've
a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I've had to watch ETA Prime without Nostalgia there.
I know, Mike. I have a YouTube channel that's bigger than yours.
At least something is.
Also, guys, when it comes to Arcade 1UP, Arcade 1UP is doing something fun and interesting. They're doing the World Championships. They're doing a bunch of fighting games. I actually have a redirect set up, so when our broadcast goes off the air, YouTube should automatically redirect you to the 711
707.
It's 7-Eleven, Mike, where Mike of All Trades is hosting the fighting game tournament, which is live now. So you guys will be able to check that out when we sign off here in a couple minutes. It should automatically direct you there. Hopefully YouTube does. YouTube, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I have it set up. If not, just go to the back alley 7-Eleven, check out the fighting game tournaments. B hasn't come back yet, so I think B might win. So we might have to.
B lost big time.
B lost?
B is the shits. What game are they playing tonight?
I thought B was going to win that thing.
No, B is the shits. B is terrible at everything. Have you ever watched his YouTube videos?
I thought they were playing Marvel vs. Capcom tonight.
Oh, B's actually pretty good at Marvel vs. Capcom. He might actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. And that tournament is on the same night and times as us. But guys, what's great about our podcast show is you can always watch us in replay. So, if you want to participate, make sure you watch the live stream. That's something you can't miss live versus us. You can watch us on replay. You know what I mean? So, make sure you guys support the community.
You know what else B is terrible at? Earlier today, my wife helped me move my ALP down in the basement.
Yeah.
We safely got it down there. At no point did she almost die. So B's even terrible at moving the ALP.
Yeah, that's true. He almost killed Mrs.
Tried to kill his wife.
We almost lost a wonderful part of this community when he tried to smash Mrs. Kong's R Us with his pinball machine. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to be about it for tonight. We had some fun, talked about some topics. Hopefully we gave you some news, entertainment, and, of course, information. And if you enjoyed this broadcast, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up on the way out. Make sure you subscribe. Carl, whenever you're ready, send these people on your way. Everyone have a fantastic weekend. When you get to the back alley 7-Eleven, tell them hi from the Super Game Room dudes. Go ahead, Carl.
Let them know P-Dubs sent you.
No.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. They're going to have tons of videos. I'm going to start a lot of videos, but never finish them as usual. And until next time, I'll see you on the web.
Laters.